films or the TV shows that currently you're doing, and you've worked with some of the most prestigious studios, including Hello Sunshine, which we both just have such big hearts for their work.
Yeah.
And we first actually started to work together. Like, we've always been friends and connected and collaborated and cheered each other on, but in our project Boarding Pass, which I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that at all.
Sure. This is a skateboarding. So it's we really sort of, and you and I bond so deeply over this too, of taking environments that you wouldn't normally associate a community with, or wouldn't associate sort of story themes with. So we have a shared passion for action sports. All your boys, your husband's an incredible,
surfer,
skater, athlete, just like the coolest Aussie dude. And so really, we have a really close, and my husband too, I've watched, my husband our skateboard was in every marriage photo. I mean, we are a party of three, okay? One of the boards, and is a surfer as well. But I watched that heal him so deeply as a man in his own, He's a veteran as well. I watched it heal his post-trauma. I watched him build rich community from it. And when we were thinking about shows together and thinking about ideas and ways that we can come into the space, we came up with a concept called Boarding Pass, which is essentially showcasing with Tony Hawk and Selema Masekela, who's the most incredible voice of the X Games and just brilliant. These are staples of credibility in that space. But then them traveling the world, really showcasing these incredibly vibrant skateboarding communities all over the world, and showcasing the way that skateboarding culture doesn't just showcase, listen, we're going to show the amazing, you're going to be in there for the amazing action shots, it's going to be beautiful and cool, but it's also showcasing that this is this kind of community that you wouldn't associate with this very unlikely blueprint for a kind of utopian way of living together, an ease with our differences, a sense of real community together, and just a richness in showcasing how we all are drawn to this like huge human tenet of freedom, right? Personal freedom, collective freedom, but how do you build a life around that? And then also infusing more play into our life. Because I think we're all just like at our peak level of seriousness and wanting to just come back to the play zone a little bit more to keep us alive. So that's a project I'm so excited. I mean, I'm in Harbor Fun's corner wherever you guys will have me.
We're
frankly,
in your corner too.
Shared sambas. Shared sambas.
I mean, the great taste doesn't just stop at the content.
Yeah, I love that project. So
Yeah.
when Sarah first pitched, because I was like, hey, I have a relationship with Tony Hawk's nonprofit and our friends at Thread Wallets, Colby,
the best.
Bauer, the best people. And we were like, hey, we want to put together something around like a skateboarding show.
Yeah.
And she came and ideated to come up with the concept. And she's like, it's like Anthony Bourdain, but traveling the world, but for skateboarding. And I immediately got it. I was like, that's so cool. So you're watching these women in Catch One dress in Guatemala dropping in pipe. Like, that's just so cool.
It's so badass. It's just the coolest. And it brings something out of you, and you will love it even if you don't care about skateboarding.
Totally.
That's very critical.
Yeah, it's true, because I'm a snowboarder and I surf, but I've never really skateboarded. I mean, I've been on a skateboard. My kids, but all my boys are way into it, and I have just loved the confidence it brings and the value that it brings to communities. But we often don't realize there's a lot of BIPOC communities and lower socioeconomic communities that can enjoy skateboarding. There's places around the world where they don't even have concrete, and it's amazing what the you kind of always said, it's like the renegade culture, right, of skateboarding that is known for, kind of, I think, being outliers, and I think that giving people permission to kind of beat to their own drum is pretty powerful. We need some of that, and do it in a way that is celebratory and holds that tension of, tradition with pushing horizons and things like that. And you've done such a good job.